It's that time of year again where the whole community gets to decide what new mob to add to Minecraft. I mean, look at some of these things. That one has a big enough mouth to swallow you whole. This one looks like a Pokemon. This is just an updated Blaze. And this one actually got added to the game. And aren't we all glad for that?
This is fun. People voted for this.
Okay, but in all seriousness, the mob vote is a pretty cool and important part of the year for a lot of Minecrafters. And this is kind of the part of the video where it gets controversial. The mob vote sucks. Don't get me wrong, the mob vote is great and works on paper, but in practice, it's the complete opposite. The problems that arise from a community event now so widespread because of voting not being relegated to something like Twitter come from the community itself. I don't know about you guys, but every single mob vote, there's always conflict. When the mob who wins is eventually revealed, every time the people that vote for mobs that end up losing get mad and frustrated, sometimes taking it out on other members of the community and Mojang because they didn't get what they wanted. Even if the mob you voted for does get added, a significant portion of the people won't be happy with its implementation because Mojang imagined the mob differently. It can hurt even more if certain larger influencers in the Minecraft space try to change the mob vote in a way that suits them. This is and isn't Mojang's fault because at the end of the day, they can't control what you want the mob to be. They can only make the mob the best they can. But I do think that Mojang should be getting their ideas across better and make sure that the community understands what they're voting for and what they want to accomplish with the mob, whether that's making the game more difficult, adding new functionality and items, or heck, even adding it because it's cute. They just need to make sure that we know it's being added for that reason because nothing stings more than voting for something and it comes nowhere near your expectations. An amazing example of this is the Sniffer. Once it was announced, I knew the moment I saw it, it was going to be a hard contender to beat. I mean, not only were you getting to do archaeology, but you can bring back a dinosaur Jurassic Park style. To top that all off, you get new seeds and plants. All these positives made it the obvious choice, and the vote reflected that. More than half the vote was for the Sniffer, making it the biggest landslide the mod vote had ever seen. But that's when the silence began. Not anything from Mojang on the Sniffer for months until finally they released tweets about the Sniffer hinting that it would be added in a snapshot coming soon. And a couple of weeks later, it was in, even with a couple plants to come alongside it. Nowhere near as many as I thought there'd be. I mean, after all, it's a whole new game mechanic, so there'll have to be more than two plants added. So I waited to see what new plants would be added apart from the torch flower and that other one I can't even remember. I'll just put an image up on screen. So, where was I? Oh, yeah, waiting for more flowers. So I kept waiting and hoping, and then it was days from the update, and I accepted the fact that no more plants would be added. And I felt pretty awful. And see, this is what I mean about the mob vote. It gets your hopes up for something you think that will be one of the better additions to Minecraft as a whole, and then takes it a completely different direction than you thought. Now, I will be honest, it's not Mojang's fault that I got my hopes up for tons of new and exciting plants and vegetation to be added to the game. But I did only think that based on the trailer they showed. If they said in the video how many plants they were going to add, or later on in a post maybe clarify the amount, I would have been fine with that. But that didn't happen. I know I'm not the only person who's felt this. Many people felt disappointed before. Take the Phantom. There was a wide variety of theories about this mob based on what was said about it during Minecon Earth. One of my favorite theories being that the Phantom would be a whole new boss mob to discourage extremely long sessions without sleep. Obviously, when the Phantom actually got added, people were super hyped to see the effect in game. Unfortunately, they are incredibly annoying. They spawn every 3 plus nights, which is amplified on servers, so you can't go very long without seeing them. Then there's the fact that you need a bed to skip through the night, which takes an annoying amount of time out of your process, just so that you don't get beaten across the face repetitively with a mob that can fly. So, there's an obvious problem. People are expecting their own theories to the point where if their idea for the mob doesn't get added, they're disappointed and upset. And Mojang isn't giving the community enough information to make an educated vote, causing people to get more mad. Though, I do believe Mojang has been improving their explanations of each mob throughout the years. But I still do think there's a long way to go to make sure the system is better for everyone. And if we don't change it, then it could lead to disaster. So, it's no secret that Minecraft is one of, if not the biggest game in the world, and it relies on its community that it's built up over the years to stay relevant and prosperous. So, the only thing that could kick it off its podium would be a division of that same community. This has actually happened before in Minecraft's history during the controversial 1.9 combat update. This was when the dark times began for Minecraft. People were beginning to wonder whether the game would die. What happened was the update completely overhauled the game's combat mechanics, making axes the primary damage dealer, adding shields, which completely nullified all attack damage from weapons, excluding the axe, and added elytra, which remain controversial to this day, as it's quite frequently ridiculed because of its power compared to every other mode of transportation. This created divisions within the community of those who played the older versions of the game to stick with the old PvP, or those who played with newer versions. Both sides saying that this was how the game was meant to be played. This division stopped the game's growth, and Minecraft saw a huge recession in player base and relevance. This was the worst case scenario for something like an update, and something similar is possible with a mob vote, where if the community is divided so much to the point it can never recover and it fades out of relevance indefinitely. So, am I saying that Minecraft is doomed to fail with the mob votes? No, I'm not. Am I saying to never vote again because it's stupid and there's no point? No, I'm not. But I do want you guys, the viewers, to understand the difficulties with the situation like the mob vote. And I think that everyone should be aware of its flaws so that maybe one day it will change for the better. And no, this is not some rant telling you to never vote. That's the opposite of what I or anyone should be trying to promote. Get out there and vote for what you want. But if the community as a whole recognizes the fact that it's not working, it will be changed and improved to make it better for everyone. This is, after all, what the Minecraft community is known for: coming together and making something amazing. If you've made it to the end of the video, then you probably liked it. So why don't you subscribe and comment so that everyone can share their own point of view? And as always, thanks for watching.